doing a off the cuff, I guess you could say, video of review of my Ganzo G704. As you can see, I got the tan one. So start off with some specs. The closed length of this thing is around 4.5 inches. Open length altogether is going to be around 8 inches. The blade from the highest part of the handle to the tip is 3.5, and the cutting edge is 3.25. So starting off with the blade. So right here it's 440C, and from what I know of 440C, from what I've read, it's a pretty good steel. I believe it's above 8CR13 MOV, but I cannot attest to that. I believe that what they say may be true, but you'll have to read and see for yourself if you'd like to believe that. When this came out of the box, it wasn't very sharp, just sharpening a little bit, so it's pretty good now. I do not have the best sharpening system at this point, but yeah. See Ganzo logo right here, bead blast finish, and I believe this is a drop point. It looks spear point-ish with this. I'm not really good at blade shapes. Well, I'm not really good at differentiating spear point from drop point, but since they're not symmetrical, I assume that they're not so much drop point. But the bead blasting, from what I understand of bead blasting, it doesn't really hold up very well to rust, which I have noticed. Maybe you could see little specks. Don't know if you could see that, but in person I can see little specks from when I'm pushing the thumb stud. A part of my thumb will hit that part of the blade, and then there's going to be some moistness, you could say. So that's that. See here up top of the blade, there's some really good jimping. Really gets your thumb stuck on there. Works really well. I'll do a close-up of the jimping. You can see it's really sharp jimping, and it works really well to keep your thumb there. Dual thumb studs, so if you're a lefty you can use this. It's a fully ambidextrous knife. Has the dual thumb studs, and the axis lock, which I'll get to later, is of course ambidextrous. And then the pocket clip is reversible. Tip up carry only, which I prefer. For those of you that like tip down carry, well, you won't be able to find that on this knife, but most people I know prefer tip up anyway. We'll get along to the deployment. See, it opens very fast using the thumb stud. Just push up on the thumb stud, it'll fly out. Fast, or even faster than an assisted knife. At first, when you get out of the box, it's going to be pretty tight. You just have to loosen up the pivot with the Torx. I think it's size 8, like most pivots that I have. It's size 8. Just have to tweak it a little bit, and it's gonna come out super fast. My buddy has one though that is a black one, and we weren't able to adjust the pivot, so now it's kind of stuck, and it's kind of hard to open. You have to use a lot of wrist when you open it, but as you can see with mine, after I loosen the pivot, it's super fast. Whoops, can't change the tripod. Try not to do that. There, it opens up super fast. If you could get that on frame. And also you can see, you can use the axis lock to open and close it. Sorry if a lot of this stuff isn't in frame. Like I said, I'm doing this review off the cuff, so I'm just trying to get in what I can. And getting to the lockup. This is the axis lock, and from what I understand, this is a real axis lock, something to do with Benchmade's Red Class Factory. They're the ones that make the Ganzo, Enlin, Sanrenmu knives, I believe. That's just from what I know of it. If you want to read on, I'm sure you can find a resource on Google where you could see more info on the relationship of Ganzo with Benchmade. But from what I've seen of a lot of Ganzo designs, they're all copies of Benchmade ones. But I'm not going to say that they're knockoffs. I believe that they're allowed to do that. But as I said, you can read more about that. So yeah, it locks up really well. Very, it feels like very sturdy, very rigid. This whole knife does. It feels like a tank. This one. Oh yeah, and I'll get to the wash. Got that. Ran out of memory on my iPhone, but deleted some stuff, so now it's back. So I was getting to the washers. Uses some Teflon washers, I believe. So it's not going to be like those the phosphor bronze bushings that you see in other knives, but I mean it works pretty well from what I've seen. I've had this knife for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. I'm not sure. Maybe you can see on Instagram the first picture I posted of this. It's a really good looking knife. I believe it's a copy of Benchmade's, one of their Heckler and Koch knives. Maybe I forgot the model number. Maybe it was 142. I don't know. Maybe you can search on that. The handle, I believe it's made out of G10. Feels like G10. Although G10 I felt all that Chinese stuff, so I'm not sure. But it feels really good. It's medium traction. Feels really good in your hand. Kind of wish that they were contoured a bit more. They're a little square for me. They don't feel super comfortable if you got a tight grip on it, but it works pretty well. You can see it's fully lined, no skeletonization, so it's gonna be heavier than skeletonized, but I'll get to why I kind of like it more. Right here has pillar construction. If it'll focus, you can have a better look. Yeah, pillar construction, so you can see my hand there. Kind of got some gunk inside there. Clean that out later. I'll get to why I like no skeletonization. When your liners are skeletonized, you're gonna be getting some stuff inside those skeletonization, those holes that they use to take out some weight. Here you can see all that gunk is up top, so you won't have all that gunk still inside your knife. You can just blow it out with some compressed air, get a Q-tip, wipe around in there. And I like the feeling of a heavy knife, but that's just me. That's just what I think, and you can come up with your own opinions about that. Pocket clip. It's I believe this is a copy of the Benchmade Arrowhead pocket clip, and it works very well. Good retention, stays in my pocket. About pocket clips, I tried out putting on a Benchmade pocket clip for fun. I tried a deep carry pocket clip, didn't try anyone else, but I'm pretty sure since that didn't work, none of the other Benchmade pocket clips will work, which it's not a big deal for me. I'm fine with this, and the way this one carries it. Carry around, it'll ride like that. So it's not a super deep carry knife, but I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's not really a big concern to me. And the weight, I'm not sure about the weight, but it is a pretty heavy knife. So it's not for the faint of heart, you could say. But it feels really beefy. It feels really well built. Although there is some little slight blade play when it's open, and I think that's due to me loosening up the pivot. My buddies, the the one I was talking about, his pivot, the one that's pretty tight, there's no blade play on that one at all. But I don't mind blade play too much. Centering is actually pretty good. Although, here when you tap the scale, you'll hear like that metallic, the blade hitting the side here. Here you can see the flex is inside the handle, so it's gonna, if you tap the scale, you'll hear the blade hitting there. Not a big deal for me because it doesn't really affect the usage of this knife. And I did some tests on this. Did a spine whack test, and it worked really well. I really banged on this thing hard when I was doing that spine whack test, and it stayed together. And I also did forward test. I really have no clue what it's called. I just saw it in some cold steel testing videos, so that's why I tried it out. Tried whacking this part here on some wood, and it stayed together pretty well. Actually, I did try out my mini griptilian, which I love. I tried out testing my mini griptilian for spine whack tests, and then that forward test, and it actually failed on a forward test here. The blade actually went down like that. I'm not gonna cut my finger. This is my mini griptilian. Love this knife. And size comparison to that, might as well. These are both axis lock knives. The mini griptilian is a small knife, but kind of going off topic from the G704 here. Lots of people, they have bigger hands than me, so I watched reviews before, and they said that the grip doesn't fill their hands fully, but this one fills my grip perfect. Just a little bit extra. Anyway, enough of that. And the axis lock, actually, getting back to this, this one, the spring feels a lot weaker, but I guess that's due to it being a smaller knife. As you can see, the travel of that lock is a lot shorter on the mini griptilian because it is a smaller knife. Whereas this one, it'll go a lot further down. And then also about the axis lock, I wouldn't, to those people that have the any kind of axis lock knife, I wouldn't do this. Like, I'm just showing this for demonstration, but I guess you could call it dry fire, but I wouldn't do this and just letting it go and not do anything. That's not a good idea. Don't do that. Whenever this axis lock moves, it should move with a purpose, either to open up and lock that blade in, or when you're closing it, not just do that. Don't do that willy-nilly. And I apologize for doing that. You may be cringing. That's just something I came up with. I don't think that it's right to do. I'm just telling you how that. Lanyard hole, there is none. But what I do, I'll get that out there. What I do is when I want to put a lanyard on this, this is just a 95 paracord lanyard in a snake knot. Just put it through here, get out the other side, and then just use one of the, what is it, standoffs, and just put it in there. If this will go in the video. Yeah. Not look at the screen when I do this, so it's a lot easier. So yeah, it's going in pretty well. So yeah, it'll stay on there pretty well. Here's how the knife looks with that lanyard. I really think that red is a nice combo with this hand grip, but doesn't matter too much. And the blade will not cut up your lanyard. See if it'll focus. Yeah, the tip is pretty far from the lanyard, so you can open and close it. You won't have a problem with that, I don't believe. Focus. Okay, I guess I'll leave this on for the rest of the time. And here, I'll show the grip. You got a little bit of a finger choil, not very deep though. Fits my finger not perfectly actually. Not too bad though. I don't really complain about this, but if but I know you guys will want honest opinion. So just a little thing that bothers me, just tiny bit, is that this is a little bit bigger than my finger, so my middle finger tends to stay on the point. It doesn't bother me too much, but I just want you guys to know. I have medium-sized hands, so it's not really bothersome. Just want to put that out there. As you can see, there's still a little bit, maybe a finger's, yeah, finger or more that you can put on there if you have 6 fingers. But yeah, feels really great in the hand. Except, you know, wish there was kind of more contouring, but you could take some sandpaper to that, maybe. Well, this gets in the way, but there are things you can do that. What else can I say about this? Another interesting thing to note about this is this is really exaggerated. You can see this part right here when it goes up. You can, I believe you can even, it looks like one of those waveless Emersons, so kind of looks like that. I think that looks interesting, and maybe if you'd like, you want a wave feature, you could Dremel out some part here, and then you can make this waveable. It'll catch onto the side of your pocket. I think that would be pretty cool. And if anybody's done that, could send me a link or something. I think I want to see that. This knife's made in China. If I didn't say that before, kind of confused here. And about handles, you can get different colored scales. You can get, there's a black one like I said before, and there's this tan and OD green. OD green looks pretty good, but kind of like this look of this tan. I never had a tan knife before. I'm actually really new into knives, and that's pretty much all I can say about this. You can get this on Amazon for around 20 bucks shipped. I believe 20 bucks shipped, but it'll be shipping from China, so it'll take a bit. But for $20, this is a really great knife. Feels really sturdy, and just I think it's really good, really fun to play with. Just opening it with the axis lock, really fun. Don't hit the tripod. Yeah, but I think it's really fun to play with. Feels really sturdy, really good beater knife if you want something that you can just like smack around like that. And yeah, I think it's really good looking. Really nice knife for the price. Maybe you can find some on eBay too, but I highly suggest this. If you have 20 bucks and you don't know what to do with it, looking at getting a knife, you should look at this. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. If you like it, leave a like, favorite. Want more content like this, I'll be putting out some more. Subscribe. And if you like seeing pictures of EDC updates, pictures of knives, photography like that, be sure to follow my Instagram. I usually hang around there a lot, so if you have any questions, leave some in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching.